Hello and welcome to Bahrain here, as we are underway in qualifying. As we are, partway in through qualifying here, we have started getting everything going, so we will quickly touch on our standings so far. So our World Champion Air Constructors Championship. In first place, we have Aston Martin. In second place, we have Williams. Third place, Red Bull. Fourth place, Ferrari. Fifth place, Alpine. Sixth place, McLaren. Seventh place, we have Mercedes. In eighth place, we have Haas. In ninth, we have Alfa Romeo. And in 10th, we have Alpha Tauri. Over on our driver's standings now. Leading the way is Andy, followed by Knick Knack Paddywhack and Cam Tizzle tied for second here. And then we have Electric Blade in fourth, Gasboy in fifth, Ketchin or AWFK in sixth, Racer X seventh, Lucifer in eighth, Jacko in ninth, Johnny Damon in 10th, Strozzi in 11th, Beamer Blunt in 12th, Slayerized in 13th, King C. Dot in 14th, Coda Go Hard 15th, Osmanian Devil in 16th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 17th, OnlyFans Free 18th, Lucky Charms 19th, and Bolanger in 20th. And so far in our qualifying here, we have Mad Jacko in provisional pole with a 128.958. Not terrible. Doing a pretty good start as we bring up the Bahrain track map there for you just to see kind of what's going on. As you can see, there are 3 DRS zones on the game there. It will be all the green sections. In the map there, all the blue. There are a lot of fast straights, and a lot of hard braking corners, so a couple of really good passing sections. Typically going into turn 1's a big one, into turn 5 as well, and then following it up in both major corners in Sector 3, the final corner there, and then the corner going up to the straight, which I believe is turn 13, it is, and then coming out of turn 14 and 15 there. The obvious, very tricky corner that everyone who runs this track knows, loves, and absolutely hates, and that turn 9 to turn 10, where it is slow down, make that corner, slow down more, and then hope you don't hit a curb and spin out and end up completely sideways. It's never a fun time. I don't suggest it. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And hopefully everyone has enjoyed their Easter so far. And if you aren't enjoying Easter, hopefully it's a good nap day. Who doesn't love a nice Sunday? So right now, as of current, we have Jacko in first as he is on his second out lap here, with Electric Blade in third, Electric Blade in second, Gasboy in third, Racer X in fourth, King C. Dot fifth, Greasy Goose in 6th, Ketchin and Andy 7th and 8th, Boolinger in 9th, Coda Go Hard 10th, Knick Knack Paddywhack in 11th, Beamer Blunt 12th, Osmanian Devil 13th, Hayden in 14th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 15th, and the Johnny Damon 16th, and OnlyFans Free in 17th. So it looks like we're only going to have about 17 drivers on the grid today. A very nice group that we have going, as we can see Jacko on his second flying lap as he makes his way down to turn 1. Heading up towards turn 4, sorry. And then quickly, nice little speedy corner here as you'll stay pretty high up, click down a gear, hop back up, get back into 6th, and then immediately slam all the way down to 2. Ooh, he goes down to 1. Interesting, to make it around that hairpin of turn 8. And then the fun kind of slow down. And then slow down some more to get through turns 9 and 10 there on his way, opening that DRS, getting himself down to turn 11. As he makes his way through turn 11, Careful to not touch the outside curb, especially going around this corner here, or the inside curb, sorry, as you don't want to slip out, because if you hit that curb, you are going around every time, as he sets a purple second sector here, as he comes out of turn 13 on his way down to turn 14. Into turn 14 and that little kind of weird turn 15 of that second sort of kink in the road there. Opening up the wing, coming on through, and getting himself a 128.6, improving by about 0.3 of a second. It looks like we have a couple others here on their fast laps, as it looks like Wolfsburg Tuner, as he comes around turn 13. Oh, he is getting out of the way, so he is going to be saving. Looks like we have Andy on his, getting ready for his flying lap as he's trying to get some heat into those tires as he comes into turns 14 and 15, and he will fire onto the throttle here. Open that ERS, open that DRS, and he is going to try and get as much speed as he can. We'll ride on board here. As he drops down into fourth gear to make it through turn 1. Get on the power. Get to the outside, open the DRS again, and immediately brake down, get himself all using as much track as he physically can, drop to 5th, pop back up into 6th, try to avoid going into 7th, drop all the way back down to 3 and then 4, interesting, keeps it more stable. And then this super fun corner where you kind of take it tight, go very wide, take it very tight again, and then ride the curb all the way, try to not cross that white line there so you don't invalidate. Drop all the way down to 4th, hop back to 5th, get back to speed. Avoid this inside curb. Ooh, interesting, he does take the inside curb. I always find that sends me completely around when that happens. And down this little straight here towards the final 2 corners here of turn 14. And then into turn 15. And then it's just straight, fast as you can, towards the finish line as he puts himself into P2. With Johnny Damon in P3. Fantastic run from him there. As he is going to... Oh, it looks like Electric Blade just heating up his tires again. Trying to stay a little more relaxed, it looks like. We have Gas Boy starting his fast lap as well. He is going to make his way to the fairly quick little S's section. And this fun little turn 9 and 10, sorry, as they head towards that next DRS zone. And then on his way to turn 13, where he'll head down the back straight with no DRS. It's a very odd spot that they don't have DRS. This place could easily have 4 DRS zones. As he makes his way towards 14 and 15 here. And, oh, he hops into the pits, ends up abandoning the lap. Fair enough. We've got the Ferrari as well. He is on his outlap with King C-Dot. Looks like he is also on his outlap. We've got the Greasy Goose coming through the end of his on his way as he just is entering Sector 3 here. As that is a purple Sector 2 out of the Greasy Goose. Just sliding his way up there. Using his little extra grease to get him through as fast as he can. As he comes into 14 and 15. Gets onto the straightaway. DRS right now. Opens that rear wing. flies his way on through, and he gets himself up to P6. Great time from the Greasy Goose there. Electroblade also looks like he just finished his, so he is holding on to P3 as we have the Red Bull of Knick-Knack Paddywhack hopping into the pits here. Racer coming through. Looks like he's doing a second warm-up lap. Yeah, he's not opening that deal. Yeah, so he's gonna hoping to get a little more temperature into the tires here. As he's not expelling any of his ERS. And we have the Osmanian Devil on his warm-up lap, or out lap, if you will. And a couple others. Cam Tizzle looks like he has hopped in now. So he was not in originally. He is now in, which is great. As he unfortunately goes for a little bit of a spin into the little S's section there of turns. Ooh, as he's going to get out of the way here as we've got the fast Ferrari coming up behind him. Looks like of Hayden. Oh, no, that is Racer. And it looks like his teammate in Hayden here has opened his, and he is going to be doing his flying lap. There's a few guys kind of getting out of the way, hoping to not cause issues. As he will make his way up to turn 4. And that fun little hairpin that everyone just loves so much. And through the S's, as he did set a purple sector 1. And it looks like, unfortunately, Electroblade has either bowed out or had an incident, but it looks like he just is in the pits, so unfortunate. As he makes his way through onto turns 11, 12, then up to turn 13 as he sets another purple sector in sector 2 there. So this is looking like it's going to be a very fast first flying lap for him. He comes through into turn 14 and 15 here. Makes his way, opens up that rear wing, heads on through and sets a provisional pole with a 128.479 for the Ferrari. Fantastic lap for himself. As he takes the off-ramp there. It looks like OnlyFans free on some mediums. Very interesting. As he seems to be trying to get some heat into those tires. Not sure. Different tactics, I guess. Do what you need to do. As he has gotten himself a time now of 1:33.3. As he wraps up, that is his time. Well, unfortunately for him, or fortunately, I guess, depending on what you're looking at, he does get himself a time in at least as we end that. And we do have a couple guys still out there. Looks like Jacko has decided he is not going to get a time. We do have Andy on his flying lap as he is going to try to snag pole position here. He does flirt a little bit with an off track as he touches that white line on his way through to the finals, as it looks like Cam Tizzle and Electroblade have both come in, having not improved their times, or have gone into the pits, as we have Andy here as he goes P2. About close, just under a tenth of a second slower than Hayden. As we have also, that's the Greasy Goose drops back, but the Johnny Damon in P8. We had Ketchin pop his way up into P4 as well, so both Both Aston Martin's getting themselves up into the top kind of area here as we have the McLaren ripping on by as he is the last one to finish. And we will get to our grid. So as it stands, to start the race, we have Hayden in P1, Andy in P2, Jacko in 3, Kitchen in 4th, Cam Tizzle 5th, Electric Blade 6th, Knick Knack Paddywhack in 7th, the Johnny Damon in 8th, Racer X in 9th, King C-Dot in 10th, Gasboy in 11th, the Greasy Goose in 12th, Osmanian Devil in 13th, Beamer Blunt in 14th, Code to Go Hard 15th, Bowlanger in 16th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 17th, and OnlyFans Free in 18th. So it should be a solid race as we get going here quite shortly. Hopefully have a very smooth, very fast, and very exciting first one. As guys are going to be setting up their final sets, adjusting, tweaking whatever setups they need to tweak, getting everything organized and getting everything underway. We will definitely bring as much of the action as we can to you. And anybody who's out watching, feel free to give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps with the algorithm. Make sure people can find us, people can come watch, can enjoy some very good racing, very fast racing, and some entertaining racing. And for anyone who is here, thank you very much for joining. We do appreciate you all. So this is round 3 around Bahrain. And for anyone who is confused, DRL Lucifer has tweaked his name on here, so he is now DRL Hayden. So if you hear me saying Hayden, that's Lucifer. Same person. Just so there is no confusion. And we will quickly touch base here. So today being round 3, we will follow that up with next week being in the Netherlands, going around Zandvoort, followed by Hungary, then Italy in Monza, and then we'll follow that with Singapore, France, the UK, going to Silverstone, then Italy in Imola. Then we'll hang up into my neck of the woods up in Canada here before following it up and finishing it off in Saudi Arabia around the fast street circuit of Jeddah. So hopefully you guys are able to come on by and enjoy all of those races. Still have 9 more to go after today and doing well. Hello. Thank you so much for popping on by. Andy, how you feeling? How's it going into this race? You think you got a shot in that going from P2 with Hayden right in front of you? Do an impromptu interview via stream. All right, and it looks like we are about underway here. Just going to finish up the last couple things and get it going as our formation lap is started. As you'll see, cars start weaving it all over the track, trying to get some heat into the tires. And it looks like, for the most part, we will quickly throw up our tire changes. So a couple of different ideas when it's coming to what we can expect tire strategy-wise, as we are going to have a couple on some softs, couple on hards, few on mediums. Though I'd be expecting if you're going to start on softs, you're going to go soft, hard, and then medium. Or if you're starting on some mediums, you're probably going to go mediums and then hards. And if you're starting on hards, you're probably hoping to make those last and then swap onto mediums to finish it off. Be most likely what I'd expect, but safety cars can change everything, so we will see how the tire game plays out throughout the entirety of this race. As you can see, the nice, wonderful Ferrari there of Hayden. Give you a nice look of all of the drivers here as they are weaving their way down. There's the Aston Martin of Andy, and then the Papaya McLaren of Jacko. I do like the orange in this. It looks nice. And Ketchin right behind him. You got Cam Tizzle. Oh, as Ketchin catches it there. So yeah, soft, medium, medium. Okay, that might be the other idea here. And then, yes, medium and hard, or hard medium as that iteration there. As we saw Ketchin do himself into the wall, trying to get some heat into those tires and spin himself. Thankfully, because it's this, there will be no damage. He'll just hop back in and get himself back going. As we have the Williams 1-2 duo with a electric blade. And then our first Red Bull with his little Christmas helmet. And we will hop quickly while we wait for the rest of the field, as Tasmanian Devil was unfortunately disqualified from the session, causing his tire heat to go away. Everyone's kind of getting themselves into their pit boxes. Not sure who you're waiting for, but it looks like somebody. Oh, the host is migrating. Take a look at all the cars here. It looks like we are on our way, as unfortunately we have dropped. The lights are out, and off we go. As it looks like a terrible start for Andy here, unfortunately, as the Ferrari gets by him, as does Jacko and Electric Blade, as they make their way through turn 2 and 3, heading up the hill here towards turn 4. Looks like, unfortunately, we did lose a couple of guys. It looks like a spin in the back as the Greasy Goose has gotten himself a little loose, and he has spun through the back there as we get back with our Ferrari, as he has opened a half-second lead. And there, once again, is our predicted pit stop strategy. Not sure why, as it looks like Ketchin has already had an issue. We'll try and catch it. Unfortunately, we did not, and that will bring out our first safety car, most likely here. Just waiting to see if it ends up coming out, as we had a very unfortunate moment with Ketchin in the back, as he is, looks like he is done for the day, as we are sitting, get back with Hayden, as it looks like also Racer there, as Tasmanian Devil. Hayden has dropped out. He is DNF'd as well. Not sure what happened to Hayden, as our safety car is now out, as we have lost Hayden. Looks like he's still going, or okay, or is it because we lost? Oh, we have red flagged. We have red flagged, apparently. So everyone is going to, we will be restarting. Red flagged, okay, so we have our first official red flag in the league, as we've had an unfortunate disconnects and crash and not well. So everybody will hop out of this, and we will back out, and we will get started with a new set here. Yeah, lobby restart as we had an unfortunate disconnect of a couple people there, and then all the fun. So we will take a quick break, get it all set up again here. As we will quickly take a mini break before we get it all going for you again here. Let's see. All right, and we are back as we have gotten everything sorted out, hopefully. As we are getting at the last of the people that hopped back in, we are gonna hop back onto the track and get her going, and hopefully this time, it'd be a little smoother. That's the dream. But hello, thank you for sticking around. Sorry we had that red flag and a couple of disconnects excuse me, a couple of disconnects. We just wanted to get everything going. We did have a formation lap glitch, I guess it is, as it did not want to let people get started. So a little bit of an unfortunate time, but we have sort of figured everything out, and we should be back going, ready to go fairly shortly here, as we're just getting everybody is just getting their setups finalized once again, and we will hop right back into it. So there will be no qualifying. We'll use the same qualifying list that we had before. So for anyone who was not a part of that and was looking at who was where, we will have Hayden in P1, Andy P2, Jacko in 3, Ketch in 4, Cam Tizzle 5, Electric Blade 6, Knick Knack Paddywhack in 7th, Johnny Damon in 8th, Racer X in 9th, King C. 10th, Gasboy in 11th, Greasy Goose in 12th, Osmanian Devil in 13th, MMR Beamer Blunt in 14th, Coda Gohard in 15th, Boolanger in 16th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 17th, and OnlyFans Free in 18th. So we will go back to that list. We will have it all ready to go. A little smoother, a little cleaner, and a little easier going. And we are back on the track, so we will go out for a quick little formation lap here. As once again, heating up the tires will be a key for everybody. As we see the Ferrari of Racer X immediately go into a little bit of a wall there. But everybody is still moving forward for the most part. Not sure what he's just going to be coming up a little later. He'll get to ghost through everybody there as we kind of take a quick venture through. So for the most part, soft, medium, medium, or medium hard / hard mediums will be the way that we will go. As you can see, most people are still on very similar tires as to what they had before. Oh, I want that one. And we'll get rid of all of this so you can see everybody. So we have a couple of hard runners in the front group, more softs, as people will be looking to go soft, medium, medium. But at the same time, anyone who's on hards hoping to go hard, medium. Track position will be key, and it'll all come down if there's a lot of safety. Nope. As we see Ketchin pull what he did in the first attempt at this and spin himself a little sideways, getting some heat into those tires. And we have the two Williams side by side, both on medium, so that could get a little interesting. Let's see what team orders come into play as they go to pit later on. But yes, if safety cars are going to play a factor, this could get a little more interesting with trying to do a one-stop race, though it could end up putting you in a pretty solid position as you can make those hards run a little further. So it's going to be a very exciting, very entertaining time. As we take a look with Knick Knack Paddywhack here. The Johnny Damon on some softs as well. We have Racer on some mediums. And then another medium in King C. It looks like he's trying to get some extra heat into the tires, just get a little extra grip. As Osmanian Devil is facing the wrong way. As Jacko is also now disqualified, so he will get kicked straight to his. As it looks like Ketchin going for a little bit of an adventure. As guys are going to start filling in, we will hop back on board with Hayden. So once again, predicted pit stop strategy, mediums to hards, softs, medium, mediums, or you could go hard, medium, softs. Or hard, medium, medium. Alright, lights are up. They are out, and off we go. As it looks like Hayden gets a much better start, as does Andy, as he's able to kind of hold him off and kind of cover him so he doesn't get on too much on the inside. But it does look like Hayden does get passed by Andy, but he does gain it back as he is able to grab a hold of it coming out of turn 3 there on their ways to turn 4. Obviously with no DRS right now, as it looks like Jacko has also gotten past Andy here. A little bit of a switch up going around as Gasboy has also dropped a spot to the Johnny Damon. Boolanger has dropped a spot to Beamer Blunt. As Andy is very much under pressure of the first Williams of Cam Tizzle right behind him. He is on that slower tire than Jacko and Hayden, so they should be able to open a pretty solid gap fairly quickly. As it looks like we had a little bit of a spin of Coda Go Hard in the back there, as OnlyFans Free has made up a couple of spots, getting past Coda and Osmanian. He is also Wolfsburg Tuner now getting past Bolanger as well. As we hop down with Wolfsburg Tuner getting a little bit of a gap opened up from between him and Beamer Blunt. As Gasboy is looking to try and stay very much in touch, and it looks like we have lost. Unfortunately, looks like OnlyFans Free and Bolanger had a little bit of an incident, but we have lost and a DNF out of OnlyFans Free here. Going into our first lap, as he, it looks like, is stuck down on turn 11 there. So far it's just a VSC, so it looks like his car was able to get cleared out of the way pretty easily here. There's no safety car so far. It looks like, yeah, they're just going to have to stick to a Delta with no safety cars so far, as they just clean up the little bits and pieces out there. This is going to work a little bit in the favor of guys like Andy, who are going to be able to kind of hold on to these tires and make them last just a little bit longer. And we do have a drive-through penalty for Osmanian Devil, as he does get a speeding under the VSC. So that's a very unfortunate drive-through penalty, though. If he's able to make that work, he could pull off a very early tire swap. If he's looking, he could go medium softs, I guess, based on that. But we'll see how that ends up playing out. It's a rather unfortunate DNF for OnlyFans. Looks like we are back racing here, as DRS has also now been enabled. So Jacko is going to be putting him very under pressure, as we have a whole bunch of fastest laps just suddenly set there. As he does take the outside line, hoping to hold on to it, and he will get ahead. Ooh, a little bit of contact. But everyone is stayed pointing straight, which is definitely great, as he was able to utilize an outside-inside move there to get himself into P1, with Hayden definitely breathing right down his neck, as we do have Ketchin on some hards. He has got Knick-Knack Paddywhack right behind him, followed very closely by King C-Dot and Johnny Damon looking to make a move on the outside here, but it looks like he will end up not being able to make that one stick, as he catches the curb and sends himself for a spin. He doesn't manage to avoid everybody, but that will definitely drop him down the order and kind of open the door for Gasboy, as we had a little bit of a DRS train going, but as it has just been the start. We'll see Cam Tizzle and Electric Blade both looking to get caught up to Andy and try and make a move. And they are both on that medium compound tire, so they should have a little bit more speed. We all know from these first couple of races that Andy is very fast, even on the hard tires. As they come through that final corner, Jacko has set himself the fastest lap. It's broken very quickly by Cam Tizzle at a 1:32.79. as he is still fighting. His teammate looks like he was trying to make an a switchback move kind of on him here, as we have another incident in the corner, as it looks like, unfortunately, Hayden has gone around coming out of turn 3. And he is going to get a 5-second penalty for a collision with Qaliy. I didn't see much of one, but that's rather unfortunate for him, as he is now right behind his teammate. There's going to be a little bit of a thing there, and we'll see how that goes, as Jacko has inherited the lead with almost 3 seconds gap. He is on those soft tires, so he should be able to kind of open that lead fairly quickly, get it over 3 seconds, but he's going to definitely be hoping for a safety car or kind of open as much as he can so he can get a solid lead and get into the pits without losing too much space there, as the Greasy Goose has made a move up into P8, going around Gas Boy as he comes down the straightaway there into turn 11 before heading to turn 12. There's a little bit of a double Red Bull pull-up right behind, in front of him here, as they're trying to catch Qaliy on his hards, as Nick Nack is also on a set of hards with King C. just behind him on a set of mediums. Then we do have Cam Tizzle trying to reel in Andy, with him having to also fight off Electric Blade, as Jacko sets himself another fastest lap. As it looks like kind of a little mini DRS train, is Electric Blade unfortunately has a little more trouble trying to get past Cam Tizzle, because Cam Tizzle is going to get the DRS of Andy, as Bolinger sets himself a fastest lap with a flying 132.4. As it looks like Hayden has gone into the pits. He is serving his 5-second penalty, as is Osmanian Devil there. So Hayden has gotten himself a new front wing, gotten himself some new tires, and he is off on those hards, as Bolinger is trying to get caught back up with Wolfsburg Tuner. He is within DRS range, so he is going to hopefully be able to reel him in, get a little closer, as he's got a little bit of space between him and Coda Go Hard behind. And still, Electric Blade and Cam Tizzle fighting to get themselves a little closer to Andy, so one of them can try and get past. As we can see, Bolinger has now made his way, as him and Wolfsburg Tuner are now dueling it out as we get back on to with them. So you have Coda Gohard looking to reel him in a little bit as well. Wolfsburg Tuner definitely feeling the pressure, as Bolinger is right up on his gearbox as they make their way down that back straight, heading towards turns 14 and 15. Gasboy unfortunately gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as Cam Tizzle has finally made his way past Andy. And now this is going to make it a little more interesting for Electric Blade, as Andy will still now have himself DRS, as it looks like a few guys have moved around, as Gasboy has dropped. Nick Nack Paddywhack has dropping as well. Not sure what happened with Nick Nack, as he is fighting, as Johnny Damon has made his way past both, as King C. also goes by. That will be a little bit of the usage of the softer compound, as he's able to get a little more speed out of it and push his way on, as we do see Qaliy here right up on the Greasy Goose, as the Greasy Goose makes his way through turn 8 on his way to turn 10. Or 9 and 10, this fun little difficult chicane. Not chicane, sorry, double left. As we do have Qaliy in a Andy in a Williams sandwich, as Jacko has opened up a 4-second lead, almost 4.2 seconds now, as he is trying to create as much space between him and anybody else as he can to try and hold on to a pretty solid finishing spot, and hopefully he's hoping he can get in, get a quick change of tires, and come out without losing too many positions, as this little battle here is very tight. It is very close between Cam Tizzle, Andy, and Electric Blade, as Andy looks to make a move on the inside with that DRS wide open, as he has made his way back past Cam Tizzle, able to fight with that one. Unfortunately, this will mean Cam Tizzle will get DRS coming back through from turns 3 to 4, as Bolinger has made another fastest lap with a 132.45. This little duel here has been very interesting, watching Cam Tizzle and Andy fight it out for P2 with Electric Blade right behind them. Just kind of waiting to pick whatever scraps are left over of any form of a duel that we have going on. If we look a little further back, we do have the Greasy Goose under threat as they come into a DRS zone, as Ketchin is going to try and catch him while dealing with the Ferrari right behind him as well. As the Greasy Goose is able to hold onto his position through that DRS range. But we can definitely see Andy starting, or Ketchin, sorry, starting to catch back into him. As we do have a unfortunate spin, as it looks like the Johnny Damon has gotten himself a little twisted. But he is still able to continue, as Coda Gohard is going to be catching right back up to him. You can see it looks like Cam Tizzle takes a look to the inside, decides against it. Decides, you know what, I'm going to wait for this next set of DRS and try and utilize that to get past here. As they make their way up the hill towards turn 4. But unfortunately, I think he'll be just a little bit too far out of DRS, or out of range, to be able to make a move. As Andy's still fighting on those older 7-lap-old hards. That little bit of a slower compound. Each lap that he is able to hold on to that position is going to make it just that much tougher as the tires start to degrade for Cam Tizzle and Electric Blade here. And we do have still 8 laps, 21 laps to go, as we have on lap 8 currently. Jacko still holding that 4.1 second lead. And all on his own here as Cam Tizzle is right into the gearbox. And we can see Bolanger is catching up to Knick Knack Paddywhack, as well as we have another Red Bull, and then Alpha Tauri, as the Alpha Tauri team is looking for its first points with Bolanger in the top 10. As the Greasy Goose unfortunately gets himself a little loose, pulls a nice, beautiful little quick donut to bring himself back onto the track, and he is able to continue, as he will have Coda Gohard right on his tail here. As unfortunately, he does get himself a little sideways, giving Ketchin a free spot. And unfortunately for Ketchin, he is now 10 seconds behind the guys ahead of him. So he will not be getting DRS. He is on those hard tires with Racer right behind him on a set of mediums. We have Knick Knack. It looks like Bolanger trying to make a move. Looks like he's going to try to go to the outside, as he's kind of boxed in a little bit, as he does have both Red Bulls right beside him, as he makes a little bit of contact, but he is able to make his way past Knick Knack Paddywhack, and Knick Knack is going to get DRS coming through, but as will Bolanger, as he has made a quick move, and he holds that inside line. As Knick Knack tries to make a move to the outside, he is able to fight him off for now, as he sticks it and is able to hold on. He has lost touch a little bit with King C-Dot, as Hayden has set himself a flying fastest lap at a 1:32.0. As they make their way down this little straight before heading towards turn 9 and 10, which is a fairly precarious corner. If you don't get it right, it'll definitely send you for a loop. Now, Knick Knack is going to have his DRS, and unfortunately Bolanger won't, because he has dropped back just a little bit from King C-Dot, as King C-Dot was able to get away and open more than a second, so he does not have to worry about him, or about Bolanger having DRS for now. But it looks like Bolanger is starting to really push, and he has dropped already a couple of tenths there, as we do have Racer X coming up from the behind of Ketchin, trying to get past him, as Cam Tizzle is right on the inside here of Andy, as he tries to make a move to the inside. Gets a little bit of a worse exit, so he's not able to get on the power as quickly, and it allows Andy to just pull on away. This little battle here for P2, P3, and P4, as Cam Tizzle has made it up on the inside. He is just to the inside as they make their way through into the S's. Andy's not wanting to give up on it, as he does slot himself right in back behind Cam Tizzle. Now under attack of Electric Blade, as they will are going to hope to try and both get past him here. Bolanger has caught back up to King C-Dot. He is now within 5/10 here. As it looks like Andy is going to try and get up close to Cam Tizzle again, but he is unable to get by him as Cam Tizzle takes a fairly tight line on that inside corner, prevents and blocks him from being able to make that inside move or any form of a dive bomb. As they come out towards turn 13, for this nice little straightaway where he's going to hope for a slipstream, hope to stay a little bit behind, keep that DRS, sort of block Electric Blade behind him, and fight his way on, get that DRS, as he is now going to have to worry about Andy, as it looks like Jacko has come into the pits. He is going to hop himself onto a set of hards. It's going soft hard here, as Andy has dropped a position to both Cam Tizzle and Electric Blade. I am awful sorry that I missed that little exchange there. So it looks like Bowlinger has also made it past, as King C-Dot has also gone into the pits. Seems a little early for that, but okay. As it looks like Jacko is going to come back out in P8. Bowlinger has made his way past Knick Knack Paddywhack and up into P6. And he will be trying now to hunt down DRX Racer, as it looks like Knick Knack tries to make a move. Looks like he's trying to make a move, but unfortunately wasn't able to get close enough to get on the inside of Bowlinger there. As we see Electric Blade right up on the tail, followed very closely by Andy, as this little group of three has not let up in its fighting. As Andy is trying to see if he can get away from it, while at the same time, Cam Tizzle and Electric Blade trying to work together to sort of force distance between them, as they're both being on the same tire. They're both going to have to pit fairly closely around the same time. As it looks like we get a yellow flag, as not sure who went off, but it looks like Hayden had a little bit of an incident back there. As Greasy Goose will get a time penalty, unfortunately, as it looks like Cam Tizzle has come in to get a new set of tires, leaving Electric Blade kind of out on his own, as Andy is now trying to hunt him down. And he will be free to kind of push as much as he needs. We see Cam Tizzle on his way out of the pits, as Knick Knack Paddywhack Bowlinger has made his way up. Ketchin being right on Racer here as this little battle continues. And I'm curious if Andy and Ketchin are going to come in on the same lap, as they have just enough of that gap that they should be able to not really even have to double stack. It's about 11 seconds now, as Ketchin is trying to force a pass here on Racer, trying to get himself into the top three. Coming into this little hairpin on turn 8, before trying to get by, seeing how turn 9 and 10 doesn't pull in Alonso and cut on the inside of him. It's still one of the best passes of the year by far. So he looks to make a move to the outside. Racer kind of cuts him off, prevents that little move there, blocks him, as they go around into turns 11 and 12 before making his way to turn 13. There's Andy here. He is going to continue, as it looks like Electric Blade is coming into the pits. He does get a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty, which is really unfortunate, as it looks like we have the Greasy Goose getting a little bit sideways, as he's going to start losing positions, unfortunately, as he gets a little close to Beamer Blunt, but is able to keep everything clean as they continue on. Now, Electric Blade, as he is now into the pits, as Bowlinger has moved his way up to P4, and we have a fun little Aston Martin sandwich now, with Andy, Racer, and Ketchin. A little Ferrari filling, as it looks like the Greasy Goose and Wolfsburg Tuner have now also entered the pit lane. We'll see what ends up happening, as we have this little battle here with Bowlinger really starting to push. He's having a fantastic race. He is on 12-lap-old mediums, and he is probably going to want to come in and get those swapped fairly soon here. As unfortunately, Racer X has gone and given himself a little bit of a spin, and he's going to have the Red Bull of Knick-Knack Paddywhack get past him as well. Jacko looking to get by him as he does, dropping Racer down to 6, and he still has to pit, and Jacko has already pit, so this could get a little more interesting. As an unfortunate moment for Racer as he gets a little loose coming out of that last couple corners of turn 9, or yeah, 9 and 10 there. As Bolanger is now starting to catch Ketchin, as we will see what the game plan is, as it looks like Bolanger is going to come in now for the pits. He does manage to keep it under and not get himself a penalty, as Knick-Knack Paddywhack is now fighting with Jacko, as Jacko goes flying past him with the use of the DRS on those fresher hard tires, as Knick-Knack Paddywhack is starting to fight his way down, as it looks like Electric Blade now also dueling with Cam Tizzle, both on hard tires, both on new ones, as they're fighting very close, and I don't know if the Williams' TP is going to be very happy with that. They do make it out cleanly, but whoo, that could have gotten a little hairy. As it looks like Bolanger is going to get himself out just ahead. As it, oh no, Bolanger, unfortunately, what happened? It looks like Bolanger went off. Unfortunate, it looks like Bolanger on those cold tires going into turn 1 was not able to continue and ended up sending himself full off the course. Didn't even bring out a safety Bolanger is in AI. Oh, unfortunate. As he is now off the track completely. And it looks like he is done for the day. Racer is right up on Kota Gohard here, as he is going to try and make a move to hopefully be able to get himself back a little closer, as he does have his teammate, and he goes a little deep and gets himself a little hooked on the exit of turn 9 there before heading into, or yeah, turn 9 heading into turn 10, and ends up losing a spot to Hayden. Hayden now just slightly out of DRS range, but he will be able to bring that quickly back in, as he is able to reel him in. He's now in 710, so he is going to get DRS down this next straightaway here, coming out of turns 14 and 15. It looks like Andy and Ketchin now. Andy has opened himself about a almost 18-19 second lead. Fortunately, it's probably not going to be enough to get him in first, to stay in first place coming out of the pits, but he will hopefully have a nice interesting one, as it looks like Hayden looks to make a move on the inside. Unfortunately, can't get there. Does try and make a little bit of a, keep it nice and close, as he's going to have DRS coming up this back section here, heading towards turn 4. Is he going to make the move to the inside there? He takes a quick look and then decides not this time, as they head into a very fast S's section. Turns 5, 6, 7 before heading to the hairpin of 8. As they make their way now into that quick hairpin. Hayden looking again to make some kind of move, but he'll holding off. Looking as he moves down towards 9 and 10. He's going to try and get a much cleaner exit, so he is able to get that DRS and get on the power quickly. Gets that DRS open as he starts to push. He's trying to use as much of this slipstream as he can, as unfortunately I don't think he was close enough, and he will not be able to get past going through there. As Ketchin, or Andy, is now starting to close the gap on Osmanian Devil, going into turn 8 there, as we stay on board with Hayden, as he is trying to make a move, and it looks like he's going to hope to make a move coming out of turns 14 and 15. On their way on that front straight here, as he will get the DRS zone right away, and he is going to definitely push, definitely has a little more speed there, as you can see him reel him in very quickly. As he tries to get there, gets to the inside, looks on the inside, and he is going to make that move stick as he gets past Kota Gohard here. As unfortunately, Kota Gohard coming out of turn 3 does get himself sideways, so he will lose a couple of positions now, as he is now DNF'd as well. Unsure what happened, as it looks like the McLaren of Beamer Blunt unfortunately makes contact, takes off his own wing as he collects that DRS sign, as he is going to get back on the track. And I'm unsure what happened, as we will have a safety car coming out, and we will hop in with the Osmanian Devil, and Andy is going to be loving this, as he has just hopped into the pits as that safety car gets called, so he might get a chance to get on out. Let's see, as he is going to be out on his way, as it looks like Ketchen is also coming in. Jacko is also pitting. So Jacko looking, I'm curious what Jack is going to get onto, as Andy has gotten himself onto a set of mediums that he just has to now make last 12 laps. As it looks like Jacko is also going to throw on some mediums. Electric Blade has pulled himself into P2, as Jacko actually has a faster pit stop than Ketchen and gets back out in front. Knick-Knack Paddywhack makes his way up past Cam Tizzle, as we do have Gas Boy making his way in as well. Electric Blade, unfortunately though, while he is in P2, does have a time penalty. And it looks like Gas Boy, serving his time penalty, gets on a set of mediums and gets back out there, as the Johnny Damon has made his way through, passing him in the pits. So a rather unfortunate spin by the Mercedes and a collision with the McLaren has led to Coda Go Hard unfortunately DNFing of this race. And I believe, only our second safety card-esque incident. We'll see Beamer Blunt coming in to get himself a new front wing. And the Greasy Goose looks like he has not pit, interestingly enough, as Osmanian Devil has gained a couple of positions by coming in when he did onto some hards. So he is now up into P13. We do have Electric Blade on 4-lap old hard tires now. He's falling very closely behind Andy, trying to get a little head games here. Just giving him that little right in the gearbox, give him a little bump draft, you know. Make sure he gets himself into the head of Andy, trying to disrupt him as any way he can. As Electric Blade is going to come into the pits, more than likely going to throw himself onto a set of mediums, as the field is going to try to tighten up here, and it looks like we have an Alpha Tauri possibly coming in here, or their team is just set up ready to go, as that will probably be the Osmanian Devil. We will see, as the Greasy Goose has decided to not come in and stay out on those hard tires here. Let's see if the Osmanian Devil is going to come into the pits here, get himself onto a faster compound, and he will not be. Fair enough. The Greasy Goose also staying out. He is on his way to possibly getting Haas another set of points. As I believe Haas currently has no points, so he is hoping to get his team into the points here. He is currently in P9. He will be very under fire in P10 of Hayden. He's had a pretty good race so far, though, so we will see. So it looks like Andy, Jacko, and then Ketchen as our Aston Martin McLaren little sandwich going on here. So it looks like most of the field is all bunched up. We do have a couple more to kind of straggling in from the back here. As a few penalties have been served now, and we head our way, more than likely, the next lap. We will have the safety car coming in, as Beamer Blunt is trying to catch up to the rest of the field here. For anybody who is watching and has not given a thumbs up, we do hope you will. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And if you are, yes, please give us a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm, helps people find us, and helps people be able to enjoy the wonderful entertainment that is racing in F1 esports. But I do appreciate everyone who has come on by. Thank you for hanging out with us. We are having a pretty solid race. It's been very clean so far. We are expecting we should be going green right away here at the end of this lap, as everybody is now fully bunched up. We were hoping to go for a little bit of a sprint, as we got a good selection of medium tires up at the front here with 10 laps to go, and we will have 9 laps when we get to the start-finish line. Actually, 10 laps technically to get at the start-finish line. As we're making our way through on our way to turn 11. These guys are going to start weaving, hoping to get their tires all nice and warm. I'm expecting to see the lights turn out fairly shortly here. And the safety car will be in this lap. The lights are off, and Andy will back up the field to give himself a nice little space between him and the safety car now. And he will effectively become the safety car. As they come down to turn 13 and 14, as Osmanian Devil gets himself a penalty for colliding with DX Racer in the back there. As Andy now puts his foot almost on the gas there as he comes out. He does have a little bit of time. Technically, you cannot pass until he reaches that start-finish line, and he takes off. Effectively almost backing up Jacko, which is very interesting. I'm not sure about that one, as it looks like Jacko is going to be a little bit more under fire by Ketchin, but he is able to hold on to that P2. That will be a very interesting conversation, I'm sure, held over the next couple of laps in his head, as he'll try and figure out what was going on there, as he almost got backed up right into Ketchin, and Ketchin almost was able to get a little bit of a jump on him. And we will quickly bring up these guys here. As obviously with a little bit closer racing, as it does seem like the Greasy Goose has dropped a little bit back here. There's a little bit of a gap forming between P9 and P10. As we have this little group of 4, almost 5, before we have a little bit of a drop-off before the Johnny Damon, who is going to be under fire of Hayden, who is going to be very fast on these mediums. Right behind him, we have Electric Blade under attack from King C-Dot. See them just behind him here. Then we do have the 2 Alpines dueling it out for the final point spot, with a Ferrari just behind them as well. As we can see, Osmanian Devil does have himself a time penalty of 5 seconds, so he's going to be hoping to really open a gap as quickly as he can. As we see Hayden really putting the Johnny Damon under pressure, coming out of turn 1 into turn 2, before heading down to turn 3, as he's losing a little bit of time going through that little section there. And Electric Blade is on soft tires, so he is closing up, so he has to play a little bit of defense while trying to play offense, Hayden does. They come through this S's section, heading down towards turn 8, as it looks like Jacko is within DRS of Andy, so once that gets activated, which should be probably, I believe, the end of this lap, we should be getting DRS activated again, which will get a little more interesting, as Ketchin is going to try his best to try and hold on to this DRS area, to be able to hold on to that and get himself up, as Beamer Blunt has made a move on DX Racer, gotten himself up into P12, And now starting to reel in the two Alpines ahead of him. We saw Beamer Blunt having an unfortunate incident earlier on and dropped himself to P15, and he has made fantastic moves to get himself all the way up into P12 already, as he is going to be looking to try and swing past the Alpines, as Osmanian Devil has still the lead on his teammate of Gasboy, as DRS is enabled, as Ketchin has set the fastest lap at a 1:32.9, as then everybody sets the fastest lap as Electric Blade sets it at a 1:31.6 there. Jacko coming out of P2 in or turn 2 into turn 3, opens that DRS, is going to try to pull in Andy a little bit here. Ketchin is also in DRS, as is Cam Tizzle, but Cam Tizzle now slightly outside of it. We have Hayden now with DRS, as well as Electric Blade on those soft tires. He is going to be very much a threat to Hayden as they come out of turn 8 here, heading on their way to turn 9 and 10. This little double left-hander that can be very tricky if you get it even slightly wrong. And Electric Blade is going to have DRS coming out of there, so he opens up that wing. He starts to really push, but Hayden will also have DRS, so he has a little bit of defense there, as he is still harvesting some energy. You can see that light flashing in the back of the Ferrari ahead of him. As it looks like Jacko and Andy are going to be dueling this one out, as Ketchin has kind of fallen a little bit out of pace. But he is starting to reel him back in, as Cam Tizzle has dropped out of DRS zone as they have come across the detection zone. So it looks like Ketchin might actually get DRS on Jacko here, as Jacko obviously will have DRS on Andy. Now he also has to worry about it, as Jacko is going to look to make some form of a move as he steps to the inside. And he does get inside of Andy, as Andy tries to hold on to it from the outside as he goes back inside for turn 2. And then they come out of turn 3 side by side. And Jacko does finally get ahead of him, as Andy is able to slot himself back into P2 right behind Jacko. Ketchin able to reel that up, as he now has got Cam Tizzle in his DRS area, as Ketchin has slow, kind of floating in between that DRS zone, as the Red Bull of Knick-Knack Paddywhack is under a little bit of pressure of Johnny Damon, who has kind of gotten himself a little bit of space, and I think this is largely because Hayden is constantly having to deal with the softer, faster tire of Electric Blade. He's playing more defense than he is offense as of right now. See Andy still pushing. It looks like the Greasy Goose actually might be trying to make a move here on Racer X. As Knick-Knack Paddywhack does get himself a time penalty as well. So Johnny Damon and Hayden and Electric Blade all going to be gifted a spot as of right now. He is going to obviously look to open up a much bigger gap and hope he's able to pull away. See Beamer Blunt trying to make a move on. He's still fighting to try and get past those Alpines, as he does have Racer right behind him. He's going to have DRS, as he's going to try and make a move past Osmanian Devil, and it looks like he is going to get to the inside. He is going to be able to kind of get a little, it gets a little squirrely coming over, as unfortunately for him, once again, Osmanian Devil loses it. Gets a little sideways and causes Beamer Blunt to make a collision. That is going to knock off an end plate, and he is going to have to come into the pits to get himself a new front wing, as he also somehow manages it. And then Osmanian Devil makes contact with Wolfsburg Tuner as well, causing a little bit of a spin for Wolfsburg, as he has now dropped back a little bit. Rather unfortunate. And then as the Greasy Goose also loses it going through the S's section before turn 8. As he is going to now have some pretty roasty toasty tires, as Knick-Knack Paddywhack is trying to get past Electric Blade. Electric Blade with those soft tires, going to be a little bit quicker, as there's a little bit of a DRS train forming with these four here. As Cam Tizzle is caught up to Ketchin, Ketchin is caught up to Andy, and Andy is right on Jacko as we have another little DRS train. And unfortunately for Jacko, he is not going to have DRS. Now, if you're Andy, you kind of have to make a choice. Do you try and get past here, or do you hope you can wait? But he is going to just go flying past him into P1. Jacko slotting himself back into P2, Ketchin in P3, and Cam Tizzle in P4. Johnny Damon has a little bit of a space here as he is trying to break the slipstream of Hayden. With Electric Blade right behind him, as Beamer Blunt is going to get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and I have a feeling he is not happy. He's going to get himself a new front wing, throw on some softs, and try and set the fastest time. It looks like Osmanian Devil is also in the pits. He has gotten himself out, and good on Beamer Blunt for getting back out there and continuing on. I know a lot of people would just completely bail, but he is going to fight, try and steal fastest lap. As we see Gas Boy here still fighting, keeping himself in the points there. Yes, it's 1, but every point counts. I think C-Dot ahead has a little bit of a gap between him on both ends here. Knick-Knack Paddywhack trying to make a move up on Electric Blade. While at the same time, Electric Blade trying to make a move on Hayden. Hayden trying to make a move on the Johnny Damon. See Jacko trying to get up close as they're going to head into the front straight. As Jacko gets a fantastic exit. And he is right up on the rear diffuser of Andy as he does make his way past. He is on that inside as Andy is going to give up that position. Oh, it looks like, yeah, oh no, he definitely tried to give a little bit of a fight back, but was able to hold on to that. Jacko now in first with 3 laps remaining here. We are on lap 26. I guess 4 laps because we just started 26. As we head down through that S's into turn 8. Which in itself can be a little sketchy coming through if you get a little too much of that exit curb. Now it looks like we have an incident in P3 as Beamer Blunt. Not sure what happened, but something goes wrong out of turn 13. And that is going to bring out the safety car here. Beamer Blunt has just left the session. Rather unfortunate. He was having quite a good race. Just a very, very, very unfortunate day for Beamer Blunt there. So I'm sure he will have some questions to end this one. And probably a good chat or two with the stewards after that. Rather unfortunate. But as you can see, we do have now a quick little, hopefully quick safety car, but by the time we get caught up, there will be 2 laps left, so there's a good chance this one does finish under safety. We will see what ends up happening, as it looks like Jacko looks to fake everybody out as he is going to go into the pits. We will probably end up catching up to the safety car right away here. And does look like Electric Blade is going to go into the pits here, though. Sure why. Gas Boy is going to gain his spot. And Racer going to now slot into P10. Getting himself, as of current, a single point. Electric Blade has swapped onto a new set of soft tires. Assuming he is hoping that we only do 1 lap of this, maybe a second one, and have a lap to go, and he can try and set that fastest lap. Try and steal that away or keep it. Unfortunately for him, he is now out of the points there, and Cam Tizzle is going to be his teammate in P3 as of right now. Now it looks like the Greasy Goose and Wolfsburg Tuner also having come into the pits, hopping onto some softs. We are going to come down into turn 13 here. Let's see what ends up happening. And the safety car is going to come in this lap, so we will have a very, very fast 2-lap kind of shootout now. as we will hit lap 28. Probably maybe get DRS for the last lap, as Jacko is going to try and get as much heat into those tires as he can. And this is going to be very interesting from Andy and Mad Jacko, whatever. So he will also have Cam Tizzle right behind him, catching, trying to get into the podium as well. The Johnny Damon, Hayden, Knick Knack Paddywhack, King C-Dog, Gas Boy, Racer X, Electric Blade, The Greasy Goose, Wolfsburg Tuner, and Osmanian Devil. Going to be a very, very interesting, as Jacko has now put his foot down, as Andy and him are going to be firing off to that straightaway, heading down to turn 1. No DRS on this one, so you can see Cam Tizzle sitting a little bit back as Andy is pushed up on Jacko, as Electric Blade has gotten past DRL or DX Racer X, as they kind of duel back and forth there, as the Greasy Goose is also trying to make a move up. Electric Blade has made another move up. We have all the craziness happening behind us, as King C-Dot here, he is on some old hard tires, and that's going to be really unfortunate, as he does have Electric Blade now right behind him on a set of softs. And we did have Racer unfortunately get himself a little bit loose, and he does end up in P13, losing quite a few spots and falling out of the points now. So Greasy Goose has made his way up into the points, as we did have Osmanian Devil make his way past Gas Boy, as Gas Boy unfortunately also has spun, losing himself out. And the Greasy Goose is now into the points for the first time, hoping to hold on to that, as he is going to be pushing. He is a little bit of a gap behind him to Wolfsburg Tuner, so he actually will be able to use this soft compound tire and get himself back up there. As we have Electric Blade having got himself into the points as well. The Johnny Taman has retired from the session. It looks like he is going to pull off out of the way, and there shouldn't be an issue with the safety car, as he is moving slowly through Sector 2. As we make our way into the final lap here, we have no DRS. So this is going to get real interesting now, as it's going to come down to who can pull a little bit more out of the car and hope to be able to keep it under control at the same time. As we see Jacko pulling himself away from Andy. Cam Tizzle is also trying to make a move and stay on that podium, as Ketchin has dropped off just a little bit, with he's under fire from Hayden, as Electric Blade on those softs has now gotten past Knick Knack Paddywhack. And he is going to continue to have to duel to keep that position now. As we can see, the Greasy Goose and King C-Dot unfortunately spinning, both of whom going out there. Unsure what happened, but rather unfortunate, as the Greasy Goose did look like he was on his way for his first points in this one. But he ends up losing out on that, as we have a safety car, but they both were able to stay out of the way, as the Greasy Goose is having a little bit of trouble getting himself back together. He is now off and going, and we will hop back on, as we are going to be making our way through turns 11 through turn 12, on our way to turn 13, as Andy is trying to make his way onto that top step. Jacko doing everything he can to play as much defense as he can. The added bonus of not having to worry too much about DRS as they make their way into turns 14 and 15. He is going to be giving it everything they have, as looks like Jacko is going to end up with the fastest lap and the P1 as Andy comes through. Electric Blade stealing it away at the end with a 130.7, sorry, as we will have Jacko, Andy, Cam Tizzle, Ketchin, Hayden, Electric Blade, Knick Knack Paddywhack, Wolfsburg Tuner, Osmanian Devil, Racer X, King C-Dot coming across now, and Gas Boy, followed right behind by the Greasy Goose in P13. As we had another fantastic race and a down-to-the-wire finish there. A great race out of Jacko, as he was able to make his way back up into P1 and hold off Andy in those last couple of laps to be able to get himself back up onto that top step there. And the McLaren of Matt of Jacko there going to end up in P1, followed by Andy and then Cam Tizzle. As McLaren will take that top step, splash each other with some champagne. So as you can see here, our winner in the McLaren, Jacko, starting third, ending up in P1, followed by Andy. Cam Tizzle catching in fourth, Hayden in fifth, Electric Blade in sixth with the fastest lap there. Nick Neck Paddywhack in 7th, Wolfsburg Tuner in 8th, Osmanian Devil in 9th, Racer X in 10th, King C-Dot in 11th, Gasboy in 12th, and the Greasy Goose in 13th. And then the unfortunate group of Johnny Damon, Beamer Blunt, Coda Go Hard, Bolanger, only fans free, unfortunately DNFing for the rest of this race. But a fantastic job by everybody as they had a great overall day. With some fantastic times, a couple of unfortunate incidences. I know Beamer Blunt will have a couple conversations today. We will see how that ends up playing out. We will see here if the front group ends, or the top three here end up hopping into the waiting room with me. We can have ourselves a quick interview. As another fantastic race. From everybody here. While we are waiting for that, we will toss that off, toss that on, and we will quickly take a quick look here at the calendar. So we have just finished up in Bahrain for round 3. We will be heading to round 4 in the Netherlands before heading off to round 5 in Hungary. Then we will head to Monza, Italy, and then we will go to Singapore, France, Silverstone, Imola, Canada, and then Jeddah to finish it up. But it looks like, oh, we do have Andy here. I will pull him in, so we will quickly chat with him. Andy, how are we feeling with that race? That little last second safety car looked like it was a little unfortunate. How was it for you?
Yeah, that was
fair enough. I mean, it kind of was a case of safety car giveth,
yeah,
safety car taketh away, as you got the first safety car and you were able to get yourself in,
it was only
get onto your change your tires real quick without losing out on first position there. But
yeah,
and then obviously the second safety car, unfortunately,
safety car for me for Bahrain, but
in a P2. So and unfortunately, skip you there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, we got
P2
both
and a
me
P4,
and Ketch got a
so solid,
very
solid
fortunate
for sure.
pit under the first safety car.
That's good.
And
well,
then
is there anybody you want to give a
got
shout out to
screwed.
before we let
both
you
of us
go?
after, but it is what it is. It's good points at least, so we'll take that. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Well,
so
congratulations
happy
on
with that.
P2 there, and we will see you next week in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
All right, have a good one.
Majako, really
All right,
nice
and we will bring
driving,
in
and Cam Tizzle.
P3 here
Really
in
good battles
Cam
with you
Tizzle.
guys. And
Cam, how's it feeling, buddy?
to
How was the
Ketchen
race for you? I
bringing home the points.
don't know if he can hear me. There we go.
Yeah,
Hey, Cam,
thank you.
how's it going? How was the race?
Want to talk to me? Oh, yeah, so sorry, I just didn't have my speaker on, so it was kind of
Yeah,
hard
it
to hear
looked
you.
like
But yeah, the race
you
went,
and
pretty good.
you and Electric Blade got a little
thought it
close a
could maybe a
couple
little
times
bit could a little bit been
coming
better
through
for the
there,
team,
but
but
you were able to
went
hold it together. So
all right enough, I guess.
how was it
we'll get Aston
feeling with
Martin
that last
eventually.
safety car? Did
I don't know if I'll be
that come in as a benefit
Drivers'
for you guys,
Championship. I
or
was
did
hoping
it
to
kind of
get
hinder you a
a
little more?
constructors win at some point, hopefully. It probably helped Electric, but it didn't help me at
Well,
all.
it looked
I
you look calm. You look
I was kind of just waiting. I
composed, and
wanted
you managed to snag
Majako
yourself.
and
I think
Andy
it's
to
the
keep
better of
their
the Camerons, if I
DRS, so
remember
that way maybe
correctly,
they'd battle,
in that
and maybe
duel.
I'd be able to take advantage
All
of the
right,
battle
so
and maybe pick
we've
another
replaced. We
dude
have a
off. At least
new
I didn't
top
think I was going to win the
Cameron
race,
in
but I was
this
hoping
one.
to
So
maybe snag a
Ketchen
cheap
can take
P2 or
himself a
something
little
like
bit of
that.
a
But
break
it is
and,
what it is.
go back into his own little space now. Yeah. Fantastic. Anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Indeed. We love the other Cameron though. He's G2.
Fantastic. Well, we will see you next week we are going to the Netherlands, so we will see you there, and hopefully you'll have the same luck, if not better.
I'll give Majako a shout out for I forget what kind of a pitch
No
strategy
worries.
he was on.
Have
I know
yourself
he
a
was
good
on
one,
a
and we
different
will see you
strategy.
next week.
And, props to him for making that work.
Yes, you as well. All right, and then we will bring in our winner here in Jacko. A very interesting
Yes, sir, I'm feeling really good. I actually
set
really
of
feel good about
safety
that
cars
one.
in terms
Thank
of
you for
timing.
commentating, and yeah.
How'd that work out for you with what you were hoping to do pit strategy wise?
Yes, sir. Happy Easter.
Hello. Yeah, I think I would have preferred there to be no safety cars at all because I did have that lead established from that first stint. But of course, it was difficult to know exactly where Andy was going to come out. My calculations put him coming out in like fourth when he eventually changed tyres and then having to fight through the Williams and then a few seconds to catch me. He thinks that he probably would have been in front of them and caught me much sooner than I predicted. So I guess we'll never know. Either way, the safety cars did come out, and that certainly helped him, restarting after that first safety car.
It was almost a case
from the
of
lead.
safety car for you.
Had to make
Safety
the
car
move,
taketh
and then
away, and then
luckily
it
for
gave
me,
it to you right away
the
after.
safety-
So
the
kind of
final
seemed like
safety
it
car
lucked
came out
out
at a
in
point
the
where
end
there'll
for
be no
you.
further DRS.
But
which
no,
was,
you drove a fantastic race. I mean,
basically
your guys'
meant that
little
I didn't have
battles at
to
the end
do
there,
much to stay
when
in
before
front,
the
just manage the
last
battery.
safety car
So
there, of going
that
back
second
and
one
forth
worked out
on
really well.
who is in the lead, and it kind of ended up in definitely in your favor with that last safety car. How excited are you for the next race here coming up in the Netherlands? You think you'll be good to go and ready for it?
I'll be definitely ready for it.
Sounds
there's
good.
a bit of a lottery.
Was there anyone you wanted to
in
give a
how
shout out
safety
before
cars
we
affect
let
the
you go
races,
here?
but hopefully there's minimal interference from the safety car, and we can have a nice race. I think probably not my strongest track, Netherlands, but I shouldn't be too far from the front, so be good.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate it very nicely. And congratulations once again on the win there. That was a great day for you. I know your teammate had
put me on the
a little
spot.
bit of an
Probably would have
unfortunate
if I
day.
had more
And
time to
I'm
think
sure
about it,
he'll
but at the moment,
have some conversation in the debrief for sure. But great win for yourself and great points, obviously. So hopefully we'll see you again next week and all that, and have yourself a great rest of your Easter. Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you again, I guess, then, and I'll pop you on down and we'll see you next week. Thanks. All right, and that is going to be the end of Bahrain. So once again, we will see you next week in the Netherlands. We'll have a fantastic set of drivers driving very quickly, and we will have a fantastic day for the rest of Easter for you guys. So hopefully we'll see you guys then. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch up with you guys next week. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time.